Number one, who's gonna benefit from this besides the landowner? And number two, are they gonna reassess the taxes because now we're gonna have an eyesore on our road? And is it gonna decrease the value of my property since it's right next door? I know I wouldn't buy a house right next to a solar panel farm. So I'm just curious as to whether you guys thought of that at all, or is it just gonna be brushed aside? That's all I got to ask.
Anything else? All right, thank you. Okay, the next name on here, I cannot read, but it looks like the first name is Mike or Mitch. Anybody remember who signed on the second line? Because I cannot read it, I'm sorry.
Mike.
Mike ain't in here. No?
All right.
Just as a sign.
Anybody here remember that they signed the thing, that can identify themselves?
Did you sign in, Mike, and you thought you would just need to be present? You thought there were door prizes and stuff? So there's no door prizes.
All right, next name on the list is Don Peavy. Don?
So you had mentioned earlier that I can't speak on some things. What are the things I can't speak on tonight?
The topic here is on the special use permit and the aspects of that special use permit.
Okay,
So
well, if
we're
there's
not
something,
here to anything, we're not here to entertain anything about the town board or budgets or anything else that would have to relate to this sole source power.
let me know if I'm off target, okay? Okay, to the town, where the project faces the Delta Lake Recreation Corridor, competing for optimal panel placement. Your previous studies, not those of sole source, state negligible visible impairment to the aesthetics of that area. And here I can pass these out for folks to look at. Who determines this as negligible? Who could determine it as an aesthetic issue? So the town and its boards have prioritized the project's advancement over opposing views and have done so since the inception of this project in April 2023. They have rewritten the zoning ordinance that should have followed the comprehensive plan, but does not on solar. That comprehensive plan is one by the people, for the people, that favors residential growth, agricultural growth, 5+ acre lots growth, small home business over industrialization. That industrialization being the last possible thing to do if necessary. What we have seen from this town board over the last 2 years are 4 major industrial projects, 2 being solar, 1 helicopter base, and 1 upcoming massive housing complex that will straddle both Lee and Western, changing the way we live, work, and play here. 4 major industrial projects here now that will change the community forever, and this board is just getting started. Ethically, there should be no biased opinions or viewpoint expressed by anyone on any of the boards in the town previous to deliberating this project for the public after the public hearing. That is the way it should have been done. Truly representing the people's concerns on both sides and then deliberating the results of the people's feedback after the public hearing. And I hear that's what you're going to be doing today, which I applaud. That's awesome. However, in Western, any opposing comments concerning this project are quickly sucked up and suppressed via email, effectively shutting down the public's concerns even before a public hearing could be held. That email process used to attempt to shut down the public comment because this town board and its appointed membership refused to listen to the public and instead used political or other desires or goals to advance their own concerns. It raises the ethical concerns as to the inability of Western's town boards as a whole to truly represent the public they serve instead of their own political aspirations or ideas. Mr. DeFranco stated in a previous zoning meeting that public comment carries about as much weight as the air you breathe. In this project, we would ascertain that anything any member of these boards here have done to further this project along, including pictures, charts, ideas, images, studies, etc., holds no more value than the tax-paying public would hold. That is, anything that you've done to further this project yourself, Mr. DeFranco, by taking pictures or doing anything for sole source does not represent anything other than your personal desires to make this go through.
All right, you are now starting personal attacks. That is out of line. Please confine your remarks
This
to
is,
facts.
this is a professional responsibility of yours that you cannot interfere with the process of the people.
He's right. He's right. He's absolutely right.
That's right, Carl.
One person speaks.
The public,
Otherwise, I will close this meeting down.
that would be great. The public indeed sees the input from the board members as work provided to sole source as politically charged and ethically deficient and deficient. But what is a valuable commodity here tonight are the people in the room, the community, many of which are saying this is a poor choice or decision on such an important recreational corridor, both winter and summer, an environment that could be very susceptible to change. Any imbalance spinning what we are attempting to maintain in the town of Western, in the evolution of many things here,
30 seconds.
maintaining and developing this great resource we have been blessed with for the future. Do the people here want to take that risk to support the downstate Democrats and their battery-funded futures that may not be ready for prime time yet? I'm not willing to sell out the Delta Lake Recreational Corridor vistas we have for that. Apparently, the town boards are ready to sell out for $40,000 over the next 15 years without regard to the concerns of those in the public, many of whom
Time.
make their livings. Start right there.
If someone wants to take that risk, let them do it on their own property and not an industrial application, and leave the corridor
Excuse
for
me,
those who
state
visit
your
us.
name.
Excuse me?
State your name, please.
Carol Nettleton.
You're just gonna continue on?
Yes, I
this
am.
rant?
I am allowed public opinion.
Please use a
Apparently
inside
the-
professional voice.
I am, thank you very much. Apparently, the town's board is ready to sell out for if someone wants to take that risk, let them do it on their own property in a non-industrial application and leave the corridor to those who wish to visit simply because it is beautiful and not implement a full-scale industrial application that could be devastating unintended consequences for the next 50 years. Attached are photos of the Sly Hill project from 12 to 15 feet above the ground, fully 10 feet higher than the chairperson's photos, and personal work here to push this site as being a minimally aesthetic issue, and those personal photos represent minimal visual and aesthetic degradation that would result from this project. The included pictures we supplied, the attached map, show that all the businesses, homes, and locations from the State Park to the dam to Elmer Hill Road, those homes on the opposite side of the lake, including the homes above the dam on Town Line Road, will be impacted heavily to the aesthetic issues with this project. In addition, it is noted that some hidden nature of these solar fields are hidden from the same side of the lake only by trees below the project and before the lake. That would mean that if the town does nothing to prevent clearing or building in these areas for residential, agriculture, and more industrial uses down the road, every tree between these solar projects and the lake that is removed or falls will obscure less and less of the solar project in the coming days, weeks, months, and years. We may be left with total visual impact of these industrial sites in short order or over a period of time with no ability to prevent, and eventually, unless we include a very cumbersome set of restrictions and replanting for trees and other vegetation that would hide these projects in the future. With respect to the water runoff, the two solar projects are battling for the same areas to dump their water. The attached map and topographical overlay shows the two existing water runoff areas sitting between the two solar arrays comprising 50 acres of panels. We'll redirect the water regardless as to the statements from Chairman DeFranco. Personal comments worth no more than anyone's comments here in regards to this project states. It will not be the business as usual with the 50 acres of water quickly shed from glass into the direct channels that will not soak into the ground just like the panels weren't there. We'll have to go somewhere. This will be into the two streams running down the hillside under Stokes Westernville Road and dumping into Delta Reservoir and impacting the water quality over the years, depth and clarity, as it moves down the hillside carrying the dirt and debris that streams carry. As is normal in this process of determining visual, aesthetic, and water impacts, this town has put the apple cart before the horse again and is simply telling us what what they believe is right and good for this town based on their input, that the people know isn't necessarily viable input, and its value is only 1/1500th of all the public input here in Western. Don't be fooled just because they tell you they are smarter and can see further into the distance than you. That's not how it works. Many of the public here tonight have reviewed and studied this project as well, and have reached conclusions far different from yours. This board, therefore, the opinions on the board are worth no more value than the public's input, those sitting right here in the room. So who is the real expert here? It's the taxpayer. The people sitting at the back here at this public hearing that in most cases are muted by the town board for obvious reasons. Town boards do not want the negative press. The experts we're here to have been hired are as nonpartisan firms representing the people so as to be able to ascertain if this project will fit into the confines of the comprehensive plan without stepping on it and without impeding both the property owners to validate and use as permissible comprehensive plan as provided of by and further the people. So where are these experts that have provided these services on behalf of Sole Source? And where are those reports from those experts in the field stating that over the last 50 years this project could be in service and the Delta Lake Recreation Corridor will not be negatively impacted by the comprehensive plan as currently provided? Whereas the data suggesting that this project does not now and will not in the future exceed the current valid comprehensive plan's footprint. You might say, well, the zoning ordinance provides for all that, and the people say hogwash, because the zoning ordinance is flawed. The zoning ordinance is not built on the comprehensive plan because the comprehensive plan does not provide for the specific use of power-producing industrial applications or other industrial uses such as a helicopter base that's built hundreds of gallons of aviation fuel into the ground next to the town park. All of these issues should have been provided at the cost to and via the resources of sole source power, and not via any board or set by pre-approval processes provided by the town. The rewrite of the zoning ordinance that has been done outside of the requirements of the town's viable comprehensive plan to allow support of all.
Time's up. Thank you. Next name on the list is Jim Smith.
That's an easy name for everybody to remember. I was under the impression we might be able to get some questions asked and answered here.
We're just taking comment tonight. We will answer them. They're recording everything.
When is the vote going to be?
I don't anticipate a vote until next month's meeting.
Okay, because some of the questions I have is how long has this company been in business? What is the status of their existing accounts that they've done? Have they sold them? Have they, any of them gone bankrupt? Other questions I have is the actual, it's a 5 gigabyte, I believe. What is the actual efficiency of these solar panels as far as being a practical source of energy? I mean, everybody else is addressing a lot of the other issues that are concerns, of course. Other things, what is the amount of money that the school taxes are going to get? And will that reduce our school taxes? Because they just went up in the last 2 years, quite a bit. Some of us know. And down the road, 15 years to 20 years is the life expectancy of these panels. And with the fact that the technology is changing so fast, will these things be outdated in 5 years? And what are the plans to replace or remove them? I understand that there's a bonding company that is involved. If there is a problem down the road, is that bonding company solvent? Are they going to be around in 20 years if there is a problem? I mean, insurance companies are getting crushed. Take a look at all the barns in our area. They're getting killed. Other than that, the impact on wildlife, are they going to be fencing this area off from the deer population? And how are they going to manage the upgrade of this property so that weeds and everything don't grow over them? I assume they have to use weed killers, possibly somebody involved with management for trimming and everything else that's necessary. And what will the effect be on the wildlife, let alone the, because birds and rabbits can get in everywhere. And the eagles. But those are the concerns I'd like the board to consider and look into, please. Okay?
Tell me your name again.
Jim
Jim
Smith.
Smith. You obviously didn't hear it. And I won't spell it.
Good job.
Right, next name, Karen Roland.
Sorry. On behalf of my brother Juice Nandrag and I, our families would like to thank the Town Western Board for their consideration, hard work, research, and the review of the solar project on Sly Hill. In addition, we would like to thank the Western residents, including our neighboring parcel owners, for their support of this project. My grandfather, Gerald Andrag, purchased the farm on the bottom of Sly Hill back in 1947. He worked hard farming this property and then later developed the gravel bed with my father, Carl. The Andrag gravel bed helped support the community with topsoil, stone for roadways, and personal properties. Our goal is to continue to use this land and keep this property that means so much to us and our family for years to come. Our gravel bed has limited use at this time, and this project will revitalize the space into a productive space for renewable energy, with benefits both economically and environmentally for the community. Sorry, I'm nervous. We appreciate the board's diligence in sharing the information on the town website for the public to see, and I just can't thank you enough for at least considering this project.
Thank you so much for much. And Jason too, he's on Palmer Road.
Okay, Jason Tuttle.
Appreciate that too, Jason.
I'm a little tall. Hi, my name is Jason Tuttle. I have personally worked with Sole Source. They worked with me, met every need that I had to make in my project and with the town of Vansville. Retention ponds, because I live right next door to Fish Creek, that it was one issue here. Another gentleman brought up an issue tonight of issues of maintenance under the things. Sole Source sold me out to a worldwide company called Nextamp. I am working with them to get sheep and goats to graze underneath the panels instead of a herbicide or mowing, which would also benefit the community with a product of goat meat and sheep and wool. As we also go along in the project, anything I needed, Nextamp and Sole Source answered questions about hiding it from the community. We planted trees along one of my corners of my property, the way my property was, to hide it from there. Value of the property was no problem. I sold 13 acres that borders the solar panels for $3,500 an acre. There was no problem in value of the company. Who benefits from this is the people here in this community, because this power does not go to New York City. It goes down onto Turn Road.
I'm sorry, time.
Oh, wow. That was short.
Oh, you know what?
No,
That was not, I'm sorry, that was not time. You can come back up.
No.
She didn't take all that time, reset.
Now you have to start over.
So one of my last things was who benefits from this is it's you local people, because this power is going to go into the grid right there on Turn Road. So in a daytime event that you have a windstorm comes through, the circuit breaker is going to break between the power outage. So if you're sitting on Sly Hill and the power goes out at Stewart's, guess what? You're still going to have power. Not being waiting for them, Niagara Mohawk, to come and fix the power. So the people are going to benefit here. And the other thing is, they were great people to work with. They worked with the town. They worked with my neighbors that had issues with it, and everything worked out well in my area and my benefit. I had no problems or benefits.
just give us a little history about your land.
My land, we've been farming that since the 30s in my farm. My town made it so only half of my farm went into solar and the other half went into agricultural. I didn't have a gravel bed on the hillside, and we all worked it out and it all went good.
What, do you get paid every month for it?
Not yet, because it was not finished built, because, you know, we had snowmageddon this winter.
But you will be.
Yes.
So you're the one that's gonna benefit.
Not only will I benefit, but you can sign up for a program for the solar panel
How
and
much
get
am I
cheaper
gonna
power.
Okay, this is not a discussion session, this is Mr. Tuttle's time to talk.
Would it affect Boonville Electric?
No,
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Sorry about the.
Well done. Next name on the list, Mr. Mark Hale. We're still building. We're still building.
It's an H-A-L-E.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm starting to fun. Sorry about that.
Well, to drum over some of the ground some others went over, Mr. DeFranco at the one meeting.
Speak in the mic, please.
You
Yeah, Mark, speak in the mic.
We got you, Jason. You yourself said that what we say means nothing, so I don't know why any of us are here. But it's the people that pay the taxes, we get to say in the town. I mean, you guys already made one catastrophic decision putting a helipad up here. Now we got 400 gallons of aviation fuel on the ground. When nobody else wanted it, the public then. But that was your decision, you guys knew better. And another question, is Charles Engelbrecht the attorney for these people?
We're not discussing the attorney tonight. This is regarding the sole source power
No,
thing.
because it'd be
And I can answer to
conflicted.
that too, it's not true, so
No?
it's a lie.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
there's a question.
okay.
I didn't say it was a fact. And why are we selling out for $4,600 a month? I mean, it's a multi-million-dollar company. This company is gonna be putting these panels in based off grants and all this other green scam money from the feds and the state, which is our tax dollars, that they're gonna pay us back for at a pittance when they make millions. So I don't know how that's a win for us. And then the Rome City School District is the one that's gonna be the winner out of everything, where 95% of our kids in this town don't go to Rome. They go to Holland Patton. And we got some of the highest taxes with the school district. We're good, Phil, you can be quiet, it's my time.
Yeah, but you're entitled to
Phil,
your opinion,
please,
not your
Phil,
facts.
stop.
Then on the average, in this area, we get 155 days of sun, not this winter. And what's gonna happen with all the snow if we get that again? Because one of the councilmen, one of the other boards up on Banker Road, his solar panels are no longer on his roof. They come ripping off because all the snow. So how are you gonna remove the snow when we're getting 3, 4, 5 feet? And it's not gonna even do anything for the charging of the system. And not to mention, like one of my constituents, what about the land values? They go down. Who's gonna compensate? Is it the town, sole source, the landowners? Because there's a direct impact within a mile and a half. If you go on to any of the realty sites, they all show it. And where does the public get a say? Do we take a vote? I mean, is it gonna have any impact, or is this a done deal like you already said, Mr. DeFranco? Hopefully, you're gonna do what's right for the people, because it's a government for the people and by the people. That's about it.
All right, thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Mark.
Last name, Dwayne Wheeler.
Hey, Jason, show me how to lower this.
Squeeze the hands on that lever right there and push, there you go.
Hello, I'm Dwayne Wheeler, and I'm a resident. I have been a resident for more than 40 years. I've been on Delta Lake for 50 years. How many, more than 50 years? How many in this room have spent time in Delta Lake for more than 50 years?
No, not more than 50 years.
I've seen Andreg quarry or whatever, even after Akuto mined it. Did Akuto mine it?
Yep, yeah.
And it was very pristine from the lake. I mean, there's a grove of pines and the whole 9 yards. That's gone. So what can we use the land for, right? There's not one person in here who's been on the lake for 50 years. You can't see that from Delta Lake. I've been on there with my family in boats. I've been up in a kite on that lake.
I have. I've been on the lake for 50 years. I used to live in Lake Delta.
Okay, well, I still do.
55 years
All right,
old.
again,
Yes.
this is not a discussion.
Okay, and
Asked a question.
I've been in a kite and I have not seen where there's going to be any harm to that hill. Jason did a nice job. The website they have is perfect on how they present their project. I am not a tree hugger by any means. I do support solar, and it's not going to be it's not going to be a problem with land values. And besides that, it was mentioned, well, you know, we don't have the majority of the kids go in the Rome School District. That thing is located into the Rome City School District area. Every single kid in that neighborhood goes to the Rome City School District. There's a direct landowner, has no problem. Jason has had great experience, and there's no impact from the lake that I can see, and I've been on it for years and I'm still on it. And so I don't know what the problem is, but I think we should go and read the facts instead of stuff like this. This is like propaganda, you know? Can't even wipe your ass with this anymore because he freaking laminated it this time. But guess what? It's pollution all over my road, and who's going to pick it up?
Maybe
So-
you should.
Maybe you are.
I will, because I do. Because irresponsible people don't take care of their issues.
Okay, we're getting off topic. All right, thank you. All right, I have no one else signed up. Is there anyone else who wants to address the
I'd
board?
like one quick question.
Okay,
What is your name?
Hi, my name is Paul Kashmar. I live on Beartown Road South,
Can
pretty
you
close.
spell that for me, please?
Katch, M as in mother, AR. I live on Beartown Road South, just above it.
And your first name, I'm sorry?
Paul.
Paul. Okay, thanks.
And it's all great questions. My one question to the board is, what is each of your proximity to the site? Do you live next to it? Do you live miles away from it? And I ask that as you place your vote, how much personal skin do you have in the game? I would really respect you and respect your vote if you live next door to it as a board member and you voted yes. That would say, okay, you've done your homework and you have no problem with it. But if you live 3 miles away and you're voting yes, you don't have any skin in the game. I won't respect it. Thank you.
all right, last chance for anyone to speak.
Yeah, I do. Let me see.
Come up to the microphone.
I have a question. Oh, I hope so. Sue Berdorf, Sligo Road. I'm right
Stand by
outside.
the microphone,
Can you
please.
let me know your name again?
Sue Berdorf.
Berdorf, that's right.
Sligo Road. I have a question, and I want to know, seeing as we have all these people here, are we going to get a chance to vote on this, or is it just your vote that matters? Or are you going to take our vote into consideration and have one? Because we really would like you to have a public vote on this.
A referendum?
And think you should.
Anything else?
I would like an answer, please.
I'm not going to give you an answer tonight. We will take these questions into account. We will post answers on the website and you can look them up.
I thought this was an answer, question
No,
and answer
this is-
now.
This is a public hearing which the public is allowed to make comment and ask questions. so
And then
nothing-
you take it and it holds about as much as air. We already know that. We would like a public vote tonight. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Oops, sorry.
All right, if there's no one else, I'm going to close the public hearing. Thank you all for your comments.